All right, so let's see, time is it? 6:30. I got out of here at like 8 o'clock this morning, 7:30 this morning. I'm still rolling. So I did the wheels for the S2000. I coated them, 2 coats of Kamikaze stance, a coat of Kamikaze overcoat. Let's see what else I did. I also coated the Stop Tech calipers for the S2000, center caps, messed around with the LED light bulbs a little bit. I put the car capsule showcase. I went up on the roof of this place, and there's this month a pile of leaves this thick, so I went up on the roof, which I'm terrified of heights, but I sucked it up and went up there and got that done. Unloaded the car, actually first washed the truck from head to toe, and then went out and hooked the truck up so I could get the car out of the trailer, because you can't get the car out of the trailer unless it's hooked up to the truck. It's too light. And so now I'm going to wash the GT3 after the mountain trip. And so what I think I'm going to do here is I always find that I do my best videos when I'm tired, hungry, cranky. So be prepared for some ranting and stuff here. But I don't know what I was going to do is do an old school Obsessed Garage video and just talk you through while washing the car, talk you through what's going on. If you follow follow me on, actually it wouldn't be me, but if you follow or a part of the Facebook group, the closed group on Facebook, the Obsessed Garage group, then you saw that I'm selling a bunch of cars, I'm making a bunch of changes, and so I'm gonna fumble through talking through why I'm doing that. It's mainly because I just want to do it, but there's generally some rationale, at least some stuff that's going through my head that I convince myself why I'm doing this stuff. But anyway, I'm going to take you guys through that while I wash the car. So let's get our wand and our gun set up. I'm going to update you on a bunch of stuff. All right, I'm testing out this Tugga. I think Tugga is the company that makes this stuff, but this is Alu Devil wheel cleaner. I can already tell I don't like it as much as NextZet Color Tech. Now I can see why people probably like this. You know, Corey from CarPro sent this bottle to me to test out. It doesn't smell like the other ones do, or doesn't smell as badly as the other ones do. I like NextZet better, because I can go right into it. Like, you're supposed to let this stuff sit. Again, with my carbon ceramics, I probably don't even really need a wheel cleaner all that much. Never mind, I just got a whiff of this. That's pretty strong. This seems very similar to Sonax, which I don't really like very much, because I feel like there's no lubrication. My guess is people like this stuff because it does a good job of getting them clean, but I like clean and lubricated, so at least that's my preference. Gosh, my car's a mess after the trip to the mountains. So first thing I'll mention, I haven't decided if I'm going to make a video on this or not, but those of you guys who have been following me for a long time have seen a significant change in, and you know, it's the credit goes to my business coach, Rick. His name's Rick Corbin. And so I asked Rick if he would consider putting together a course for other business owners that are, you know, like me, you know, that are like us, I guess I should say. And you know, I'm toying with the idea of putting together a course or having him put together a course for people who maybe aren't business owners, that are, you know, that work for a company, that are either an executive or some, you know, like CFO or you know, even just a higher level like IT type professional. But right now, the course that I really want to put together, or I asked him to put together, would be to do, it's called My Business is what I went through, and I went through it twice. And so I'm going to go through it again as, like, I guess you could call it second chair. And And so I think what I'd like to do, you know, just invite you guys, if you're listening to this, you know someone that's a business owner that, or you are a business owner that would like to go through some of the changes that I have, that, man, just how you think about the world, it's really hard to explain. It's completely changed my life. And so there are already 4 or 5 of us, Obsessed Garage people, that are going to do it. The course is October 11th. It's 9 weeks. It costs $2,500. We're going to do it online, so we're going to do it on Google Hangout, because obviously not everybody's local, so it really doesn't matter where you are in the country, just so long as you have a decent internet connection. So I might make a separate video on that, but if you're interested in doing it, just shoot me an email, matt@obsessedgarage.com, and it's probably going to be 10 or 11 people, and I'm telling you, it's whoever goes through it, this will be the first course, whomever goes through it, it's going to freaking change your life, man. I mean, I can't even explain to you how many opportunities, how much stuff is coming my way. And now the big thing that the course has helped me think through, and being a part of this and retaining Rick as a coach, is to help me make sure that I'm choosing the right things to do, and staying focused, and not chasing too many things, because I can't tell you guys how many freaking opportunities that are crossing my path, just because of putting myself out there, and then the mindset change that's happened through being diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, and being opening myself up. Quit thinking that I'm better than people. I know some of you probably still think I think that, but I don't. I know I'm deeply flawed. I know that I have some skills, and I know that I have some flaws, but being open to this, putting myself out there, being open to saying, hey, I'm going to be taking this course. Would you like to take it with me? If you'd like to change your life, then again, just shoot me an email. I might make a specific video on that. But again, you really have to be a decision maker. Think decision maker. Someone who either owns a business, or that you're the CEO of a business, and it's going to be a group of us that together. It's hard to explain, but the 2 courses that I've gone through, the people that I've met that are now in my life forever, that have changed my life. And so I want to be able to connect the Obsessed Garage community in that same way that I've connected with other people, and make, again, it's not networking, but make relationships for life. And so if you want to be a part of that, just give me a shout. No agenda. If you want to do it, let's do it. If not, that's fine too. All right, so I'm going to take you guys through the whole walk here today. Again, with the GT3, the wheels start to squeak or squeal, or the brakes do, I should say, not the wheels, when you're going through the mountains, doing constant, driving for hours at a time. And I don't, everybody else is wiping their car down. I don't touch my car. The only thing I do is wipe the windows down. I don't want to touch it. You're pretty much guaranteed to scratch it up. It's funny that the guy that's interested in professional grade detailing is the only one not touching his car at the car event. So I got the dirtiest car there. Just because we're not equipped with the right stuff to get it done. And the car is so dirty, it's just not conducive to even doing a waterless wash, in my opinion. So let's talk a little bit about the cars, and what's going on with what's in my head. So I wanted to, in the mountains, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I really would like to get a 991.2. I'd like to get a manual. I'm still uncertain, and I know you guys who've never had a GT3, or have never driven one, or never even experienced one, which is most people, that you would automatically say, yeah, get the manual. But I'm telling you, this PDKS, remember, I'm Mr. Manual guy. I want a manual no matter what. I mean, I'm not a gifted driver. I'm not going to the track. I'm also not worried about sitting in traffic because of where I live. And so a manual just adds to the experience for me, and so I really want one. But this PDKS, the way that this engine revs, I mean, it's just, it'd be a handful. I can't imagine what it's like, driving a manual version of this car. it's got to be pretty insane. And so, you know, I really want one, but I can't get one. And now I haven't tried all that hard. I'm on a list of several places, you know, and forgive me, I just feel like I shouldn't have to beg to buy a $170,000 car, and I certainly don't want to pay over for it. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, maybe $5,000 if I really had to have it, but you know, it's just not. It just doesn't make sense. So I think they're going to make lots of 991.2s, and so I've been slow and just not really to all that, you know, all that aggressive about, not aggressive at all, about finding a spot for one. But you know, the touring package came out here recently, and it really got me thinking, man. I would love to have an RS and a touring package. And so I'm in the mountains, and I go through these periods where I make something that really doesn't matter becomes really important to me. You know, just goofy cards, these piece of rolling metal. It just takes over my thoughts, it consumes my thoughts. I start thinking about, you know, what car do I want? You know, is the GT350 the car that I really want? I mean, what about the S2000? You know, then this car. You know, I really want an RS, and I get impatient on things. You know, I should just be patient. Everything will come in time. But I mean, part of this ambition, part of this chasing dreams, is part of what makes me who I am. You know, it's part of my deal. And so when I was in the mountains, I really wasn't going to make a video because I've made so many videos of the same thing. I just wanted to enjoy the event. The fall event is a lot different than the spring. You know, it's one of those events where it's just, you know, we really are starting to get to know one another, and there's really some strong bonds that are coming from this event that we all go to. And when you go in the mountains, it's just a special place. And so I didn't want to be like carrying the camera around everywhere and having to worry about it. And so I decided what I would do at the end. At the very end, I said, you know, I have the cameras. Let's do a comparison video, and everybody was all for it. You know, so Garrick lent me his GT4, which I was excited. I haven't driven one at all. I'd driven a Cayman in like 2007, but I hadn't driven a GT4. It was a Cayman S that I drove my buddies several times, and you know, that's what convinced me to go and chase a 911, my Carrera S. But I didn't. I'd never driven one, so driving the manual, and I was really interested because the manual's, even though it's a Carrera S motor, it's still the 91 platform. You know, the block or the bottom end of this motor is rather similar. You know, it's the same platform as the Carrera S motor, and so they put a detuned Carrera S motor in the GT4. And then they made it with a 6-speed manual transmission, which is awesome. Which should be, I'm sure it's not the same, but rather similar to the manual transmission that's in the 911R, which of course will be in the 991 GT3, the 991.2. And so I wanted to experience that. I mean, why the heck not? If I can, you would too. Let's go over to the exhaust here. So anyway, I lined it up, gotten these different cars, and had a chance to experience them. And really what I was doing was spending some time with, you know, figuring out what do I really want. The other thing that's been weighing on me is that I've never in my life been a workaholic. I've always controlled everything. And so now I have all this stuff going on, you know, and then now that I've got a pretty significant retail store now. You know, I still want to be available to anybody who wants to, you know, would like to talk about anything with me. I want to be available for that. And so and I want to be able to play with new products and develop other products that will be in the retail store. I want to be able to test exhausts and, you know, do what I've been doing since the very beginning. So what I've been thinking about a lot are the number of cars that I have, combined with, if this is the best car, why am I not driving this thing more? You know, why am I driving all these other cars just because, you know, I'm willing to admit this. I mean, part of it was the pursuit of having all these different experiences, having all these different cars, but I keep coming back to, I mean, this is the best thing. You know, this in a manual or this in a PDKS, like a GT3 RS is the best thing. A GT4 is the best thing. It's the best car for me. And so why, you know, the GT350 is great. The S2000 is great, and I'm really enjoying building the S2000. Yeah, the S2000 has some nostalgia for me, but why don't I just spend more time in a car like this? And so I started thinking about, and then when driving the other cars, I started thinking about, you know, what do I want to do? And I'm afforded now this ability to do whatever the heck I want. You know, I've got these, you know, I've got a great business and Obsessed Wealth, and which pays the bills, and then I've got Obsessed Garage, which pays for all this crazy car crap that I'm doing times 10. It's great. And so the side hustle has become, you know, my original goal was to be able to be sort of car neutral, that whatever a car I bought to help make videos and stuff like that, I wouldn't have to pay for, that, you know, Obsessed Garage, whatever revenue I generated from selling t-shirts or whatever would generate, and it's gone beyond, you know, my wildest dreams. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about what do I want with cars, and I want to be able to take care of them. And the one thing that slipped is my ability to spend as much time keeping them dialed in as I'd like. You know, and as fun as it is to have people fly in and help you do it, I like doing it. And so, but doing it for, you know, 5 cars is insane. And so I'm going to get rid of one of them, maybe 2 of them. And then I'm going to do it in my normal fashion, which is really quickly with lots of movement. And so the first thing I'm doing, since so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm looking for an RS. I found one, but, you know, the guy hasn't responded. It has 200 miles. It's a white with black wheels, exactly like what I drove in the last video. The only difference is that it had full leather and black LEDs. It had yellow stitching, which, you know, I'm not a fan of, but whatever, you know. It adds a little bit of flair to the car, matches the carbon ceramics, but carbon ceramics, sport buckets, and, you know, and black wheels, like I said, black LEDs. So I'm gonna chase, I think, an RS. I'm selling the GT350 and my Raptor. I'm getting a new Raptor. My intent is to daily drive the Raptor, or drive the new Raptor more. Yeah, and it'd be nice to have new tech. You know, I was thinking about updating or doing some significant audio upgrades to my Raptor, whereas, you know, the new Raptor has a, you know, decent audio system in it, and then, you know, it's my Ford Sync 3 is pretty good. And anyway, so I know that it's a V6, it's not going to sound as good, but I don't really care all that much. What I've learned with the truck, you know, I was the V8 purist guy, just like you are. But what I've learned with the truck is it's just comfortable to get in, mindlessly drive, and what cooler truck to mindlessly drive than a Raptor? So, and I know I could get an F2 or an F-150 V8 and modify it, do like a Roush version or something, but I'd want a Raptor. The Raptor's kind of my thing. So I'm gonna get the new Raptor. I don't dislike the GT350. In fact, I really like the GT350. It's not a, you know, I've never been a, you know, Mustangs kind of aren't my thing, but you know, I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's great. I put 6,000 miles on it. I got to do, you know, tons of videos and play with it and detail it and dial it in. And one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to float the cost of an RS and, you know, 4 other cars. And so I'm going to sell the GT350. So I'll essentially, you know, I own that. I own my Raptor, so I'm going to get rid of those 2. So I'm selling them for like 95 grand, but for the 2 of them, the new Raptor's 65, so I won't have any tax ramifications, so it'll cost me, what, 66 to buy the Raptor. And so, you know, I'll pocket 30-something thousand bucks. And so, you know, I own those. I own Michelle's car. I still owe, I think, 70,000 bucks on this car, and because I own it through the business, and so I haven't paid this car off. and I transferred this to Obsessed Garage LLC right when I first started it. And so it made sense for me to hold on to that debt, with the exception of the thing I never realized is that the car, the value of the car is an asset. You depreciate the asset. I think cars you depreciate over 7 years, and you're only able, the only income offset is the depreciation and then the interest that you're paying on the loan. Now you own the vehicle, of course, but leasing a vehicle would be preferential for business ownership. I'm going to make a video about that. I know some people get all bent out of shape about rental. That means you don't understand business or taxes. But I'm actually going to do a rather unique, it's a, you have full, because when you lease a car, you have full ownership of it. You own the thing. You're responsible for it. You just have the option at the end to get rid of it. And so I'm working with a concierge level broker in Merit Partners. So a friend of mine, Jonathan, and he owns he's a part owner in a partnership that owns a company called Merit Partners, and they go out and find whatever you're looking for. And it really doesn't cost, it probably costs $1,000 or so, but they'll generally negotiate it on the front end off of the guy selling the car on behalf of you, the client. And so they're out searching for a car for me. They found one, but then the guy went MIA, so we think that he's probably trying to get a better deal or something like that. But anyway, I'm working on an RS. Let's go do the next wheel and keep talking through this. Videos are so much better as we get toward night out here. GT3 50 and the Raptor, the V8 2013 V8 Raptor are going. Both have been great. I've had a blast with both of them. I really like the new Raptor, so I'm going to get it. There's no real major philosophical debate here. I just want it. I think it looks awesome. I'm going to do some cool stuff to it, and I'm going to drive it, and it's going to, and that's it. No, there's no major backstory other than I kind of want one. I didn't want to get one when they were selling it massive premiums, so I'm getting it at sticker price. I'm getting a great pricing on both my GT350 and my Raptor, right from the dealer. So I get the tax benefit. I don't have to pay sales tax then. And on the trade, I don't have to deal with trying to sell it outright. So again, I know they're my cars and they've been well maintained and well taken care of, but that still doesn't mean that I get some massive premium for them. And then the work of marketing them and all that stuff. So, so a couple of people have approached me about buying them. The GT350 is probably gone. I mean, they're going to come get it on Monday or Tuesday. It's Saturday now, so I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, the intent is I'm going to finish the S2000 build. I don't even want to call it a build, but finish putting all the crap on it that I've always dreamed of putting on it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what it's like, because right now, the way it stands, I don't like it. Now, I don't like the suspension. I'm gonna have to do a different exhaust because the freaking, as much as I love the Toyota exhaust, it's drone crazy. The stereo, I gotta do a video on what I did with the stereo. I should know better. Again, it's a dream car. It's set up like a dream and all the parts on it are a dream. But I think that what's happened is I'm so darn jaded by this thing. I mean, there's no modifications to the suspension. I mean, it's factory wheels and tires. Of course, I did the audio system in here, but it's great. Everything about this is just great. And so I think that maybe I've outgrown I don't know, maybe I'm just too much of a snob to be willing to deal with the ruggedness of the S2000. But what's really bothering me right now is the suspension. It handles like crap because I've been gearing it and getting it ready to put these wheels and tires on it. So I'm going to finish that, and if I like it, I'm going to keep it. If I don't, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to go down to having just two cars. I'll have this car and my truck, and I'm going to drive the crap out of it. Or or again, the RS and my truck, and then work toward getting, you know, my ultimate dream would be to have either a GT4 and an RS, and that's why I'm thinking about getting an RS instead of a 991.2, or getting a manual GT4 and the PDK RS, or a GT3 touring manual and an RS. So that would be the ultimate vision, right? To have those two cars, and then the Raptor to tow one of them to the mountains and to drive around, and then just to swap between GT3s because they're just freaking awesome. I know that's nutty. I know it's crazy. That's why it's sort of appealing to have a GT4, because it's at least a different car. But that's what I'm thinking, and who knows where it's going to go. I know some of you are going to lose your mind about this craziness that I'm talking, but this is how I do things. I mean, just think about, you know, especially you guys have been watching this from the beginning, just think about how quickly things move in my life. I like it that way. I enjoy it. I enjoy the chase. I enjoy the process of thinking through this stuff. So this is what's going on with the cars. I'm creating complication by simplifying. So again, I'm telling myself that the reason I want to do this is because I'm simplifying. Really, the main reason I want to do it, I just want to do some new cars and continue to just, it's just fresh, it's just fun. You know, if I'm not losing lots of money, then what's the, you know, what's the harm? It's you know, in my case, when I do some new stuff, it actually helps with whatever business I have. And so I'm going to go grab some dinner, and we'll come out, we'll wash the car, and I'm going to talk through what I'm going to do with this. And again, I'm not going to go out and spend $40,000 over a sticker on an RS, but if I can find one, but again, I'm not going to rush. I'm actually going to buy the RS, have this at the same time, transfer over the exhaust, transfer over the audio system, maybe even upgrade the audio system a little bit. I'll probably go to full active 3-way. I'll fly in the guys from Sound and Motion again. I'll fly him down here to see if Derek will come down here and help me do it. But anyway, as I do this, the GT3 50 is probably going this week. The Raptor will get traded when the other Raptor comes in, so the new Raptor's due in October. But then this will happen probably a little bit slower. But anyway, I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and I'll be right back, and we'll wash this thing. Car's a mess, man. Gosh, this pressure washer is so awesome. So next thing I want to talk about is what I'm planning for the next packages. So, you know, I've been working, trying to convince chemical guys to make citrus red again. Haven't been trying all that hard, but I've made a few calls. I talked to one guy. I'm going to try again. You know, Adam's strip wash isn't great. It's okay. The chemical guy's clean slate isn't the same as the citrus red was. You know, we just need an alkaline. I don't know if citrus red was alkaline or acidic, because I think Dawn has a pH of 7, so I think Dawn will strip, but I think, again, there's no sense in even talking about it because I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But all I know is that I like Chemical Guy Citrus Red. I'd like to use that as my, you know, pre-polishing soap, and it doesn't exist anymore. Detailed Image must have bought a bunch of it, so they still had some, but they don't have it anymore. So I don't know why all of a sudden there's a contingent of professional car washers that have, for whatever reason, they seem to think that buying a high quality pressure washer is like the worst thing that anyone could do in the world. Why would you not want pro grade material or pro quality equipment? So I don't know why there's all of a sudden a crusade against us people who care about quality. You know, I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I know that there are lots of people that prefer to have something really good. And those of you who have transitioned from a cheap pressure washer to like a Krenzo like the 1122, as soon as you pull the trigger, you can feel it. I mean, you're flowing double the water, so it's just a much better experience and does a much better job. And if you have the money, why the heck not? I just like this pressure washer. I think it's awesome. So anyway, I'm working toward the next product package, which will be decontamination. And I'm probably going to be stuck with using something like, I thought I was going to use Geon foam, but again, somebody called me out on that. It's right, it's not a very good stripping agent. I'm working on that. And then the polishing package, be working on that as well. Right now, what I've been really focused on has been compressed air and tools. I have this vision for, again, what Obsessed Garage will be able to offer. And really, it's just an excuse for me to play with cool stuff. But every time, every company that I deal with, it's still such a battle, man. It's like I try to tell the story of why am I doing this and why do I think it's going to be successful, and then they put me in the same category as every other YouTube person that they gave a free toolbox to. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. We're a different demographic. This is a different group of people, and I'm a different dude, and we're going to change the world. And so it's like this, again, it's this constant battle that I probably shouldn't have to have anymore, but I still do. And so I'll cue you guys in on what's happening, what I'm thinking about here. So let's get washing. I need to do all videos at night because, man, it looks so good on camera, especially when you're washing a blue GT3. That helps. So compressed air, I had my heart set on doing a rotary screw air compressor forever. I've been working on Bob's Garage and working on the design of that, and the issue is, again, I haven't done garage design. I haven't pursued some of these things yet. And I had some issues with the fact that, lighting, my lighting solution that have vetted, they stopped making it. So, Verilux bulbs disappeared from the marketplace. So I had to go chase that down. I'm testing some bulbs here. I'll have a video up on the channel, so check that out if you're interested in bulbs. These Hyper Icon bulbs are great. I've only been using them here today thus far, but man, they seem great. So, again, I had my heart set on doing like a Kaiser or a Quincy rotary screw compressor, but as I learned more about them, one of the biggest issues with those type of compressors in a consumer grade garage, even if you're using it often, unless you're using it, daily, and pulling some serious volume from it, the screw, where the screws connect, you get oil or water in the oil, and then they eventually rust and corrode and have significant service related issues. And that, combined with the fact that they cost $5,000 and up, if not closer to $10,000, it just doesn't make sense. I don't want to spend that much money and have an issue, and most people aren't going to spend that much money anyway. So if I intend to offer it, I don't want to make compromises on stuff that I offer. I'm going to offer what's going to be in my garage ultimately, but it just doesn't make sense from all angles. And so I started to chase the idea of a scroll compressor, much like I shared that Eastwood. I don't know if that Eastwood is going to be good enough for what we all are looking for, so I just don't think it's going to be quality enough. And I was pricing out. Quincy has a scroll that looks fantastic, but Quincy's scroll was $9,200. That's without anything. That's without our air treatment. That's without our hose reels. That's without our hoses and fittings and all the connections. And so it's just not. I'm not spending that much money, so I suspect most people aren't going to either. So that's out. So we're back to piston, a piston compressor. And so I started doing some more work, and those of you guys who have an air compressor, who have gone down this path, this stuff, but the vast majority of people don't. know the details about this. So, I intend to share the process, and then make this a little easier work. What fittings do we need? First of all, what compressor do we need? What type of drying system do we need in order to have good, high quality, clean air? We know we can walk up to the compressor and have it work. And so I'm close. I just need to make a decision on which compressor I'm going to use. And so a traditional, like a Husky or something from Home Depot, is going to operate around 3,500 RPMs. A decent, higher quality is going to operate half of that at 1750, and then a really high-end two-stage, which I think we're going to do, two-stage piston compressor is going to operate at as low as 600 RPMs in some cases, depending on how many horsepower you get, how big of a tank you have, and we're going to size it depending on what we need. And so I'm going to put one in my garage, not the wash bay, but in my rental, my lease garage, OGHQ. I don't know how long I'm going to have that, but I mean, it's not a big deal to put it in there. I'm going to do Prevost fittings, a full drying system from AirRev. So we're going to do an AirRev drying system. So that's what I'm working on. And so it'll be eventually a package in the store. It's either going to be Benpack's version, I think, which of course they don't make, they have somebody make it, or a Jenny, which is made in Pittsburgh. It'd be kind of cool to have something, that's made in America that I can easily get. We can drop ship the drying system, and then ship all the Prevost fittings and hose reels, and really help people figure out what size system they need, why they need it. And the main reason why I think we need two-stage for what I'll be doing, the main air suck is going to be using the random orbitals with air. And if you've never used like the Rupa's LH, the LH75, the air version, not the Duetto, but the air version, it's freaking cool. It has its place, but I like it a lot. So the other thing that I'm considering is adding a higher end solution for cabinets. And Lista is one, but I really love the Sonic is not nearly as high end. Their cabinets, they're priced high end. They're good, they're decent. The nice thing about adding Sonic in combination with having Sabre is, Sabre would be our entry solution, and then Sonic would be our sort of medium end solution. But the tool organization of Sonic is like, man, I mean, nobody else does it as well as they do with their foam inlays. But I'm struggling with this because I'm always having to convince these people that I'm gonna be good, that I'm a good dude, and that people are gonna buy this stuff. It's just frustrating, man. And then I gotta make the whole investment in all of it. But man, I think that the Sonic organization system is just it's so cool. I'll just sit there and open my drawers and stare at it. And again, if we're sticking with the philosophy of do what I like and that other people might like it too, I love it. I think it's great. I just need to get them on board. All these companies, all these obscure engineering-focused companies, they're still so focused on doing door-to-door sales. And so adding someone like me, they're so worried about territory and I don't know what, but I'm not competing with any of that. We're creating people that really weren't interested in it before, didn't know it existed. So anyway, something I'm working through, the frustration of dealing with that. But it's fun. You know, it's fun to chase. It's fun to chase this vision I have for what I think Obsessed Garage is. What it is for me, monetarily, business-wise, what it is for other people who identify with it, you know, and what it's going to be. You know, the store is now doing, you know, 150,000 plus sales a month. I don't know what the margins are, but, you know, probably I need to get into my books. So I have a bookkeeper, and you know, Rick's been on me about making sure that I'm astute when it comes to my bookkeeping. You know, I manage the cash flow really well, but what I'm not managing is my projections. You know, when do you hire the next person? When do you make an investment in a facility? I want to keep things lean, but I also want a garage. But I don't want to build it on property here. So my garage is still here, is going to be a future endeavor. It's going to be something I do later on in life. Maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 10 years from now, I don't know. But that's not my focus right now. My focus is being able to be available for those that are interested in having me become a part of their life in wealth management. So being 100% available for those people. And then this, working on developing cool products and enjoying the process of it. And so the garage doesn't fit in that yet. But what does possibly fit, so let's switch to deionized water and rinse this thing. But what does potentially fit is, you know, my parents expressed, so, you know, again, my dad is doing all of the fulfillment. My mom is doing all the packing. You know, they're not gonna be doing manual labor forever and doing the whole process. But what we're transitioning toward is them doing full-time. I just added Michelle to help. So those of you guys who order flooring, because now I'm showing tons of flooring, those of you guys who order flooring, or if you order Sabre cabinets, you know, a Krenzel pressure washer, anything that drop ships just because of the size and weight of it, Michelle was going to be handling that process of making sure you guys are up to date, because I've been running my parents too hard to get you guys tracking in a timely fashion, you know, and keep you up to date. Like, you know, when you order flooring, I want Michelle to email you and say, look, we just submitted. Generally takes 2 days for them to get moving on it. Once it ships, we'll get you tracking and keep you involved in the process, so that I can stay lean and focused on making videos, hanging out with people, right? Dang it, I love washing this car, especially after washing my truck. So what I'm headed toward is creating a facility. So I'm looking for some property. I'm going to create a facility that's the beginning of an Obsessed Garage compound. And then worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to design it so that it, you know, one, I could rent it to somebody else, or I could just use it as my garage. And so I'm looking for 15 to 20 acres to be able to build OGHQ. That, you know, I have a vision for, you know, even my packing and shipping facility is going to be something that people are going to want to hang out at. You know, I don't have any intention of building a retail storefront. I think that's a mistake. You know, maybe someday I could create a destination type, but it just doesn't make sense to me to create a brick and mortar store. everything would be remote. Dang it, I love Colinite. And so my initial vision, and you know, this could change tomorrow. So, I mean, this is the trick of sharing your life with the world, is that sometimes things don't happen like you hope. But what I'm looking for is I want to build a roughly 3,500, maybe 4,000 square foot facility that would serve as a multi-purpose facility. It'll be packing and shipping. My parents would like to live there. Believe it or not, they're crazy. If they're going to be shipping, they want to be able to be there on site so that when an order comes in, they can ship it immediately, whether it's at any time of the day. I think that's pretty sick. You know, and I know the world is headed toward remote fulfillment, but I think that my business is different. What you guys, what we're doing is again, I don't want to be a retailer. I want to be a consultant. So I want to have, what's happening now is, for some people, for you guys that watch all these videos, you don't need consulting as much as you do access to latest information. And now I have access that most people don't have. Access to new products, new information. Access to me developing products, chasing something like a sprayer that we all want. But now that, I have this business, I have the resources to go chase it. And, and the justification of why I would do it. And so my vision for this would be to create or have enough room, have enough property where whatever I dream up, I can do. And part of my coaching, part of what I've come to the realization of, and I've always had quite a bit of this in me, I don't preclude myself from anything. I've argued this a lot about, people saying they can never afford something. I just don't have that in me, where I just don't, most of the time. Now things are starting to get much bigger for me that I do preclude myself from. And so the next step, the next evolutionary step for me is to again, overcome that. Continue to promote myself, to continue to elevate, to continue to keep doing new and exciting things, and to not limit myself, not limit what this can be. I told you I was going to fumble through this. Let me dry off the car and I'll come back to you. I'm excited to try some of this stuff. This is Polish Angel Rapid Wax. So the facility that I'm thinking about would be multi-purpose. It says yellow. So this is, oh man, it smells like straight carnauba right there. That's awesome. This is Polish Angel Rapid Wax. I probably don't need that much. So the facility would be multi-purpose to start. But I honestly believe that my vision is the Jared Toops and the Bradley Nielsen's, you guys see them in the group, these young, super smart guys. I can create an environment that they want to be a part of. And so to have them come work for Obsessed Garage is my vision. And so I want to have I'm going to create a facility that fosters that. And not even a facility, but a destination, a compound, if you will. So that's what I'm working on. That's the vision right now. My parents are going to come, we're going to build an apartment above it, we're going to go from there. The vision I have for this Obsessed Garage thing is going to continue to evolve, and everything, and this is what the coaching element of it is geared toward, is helping me figure out how to connect it all. How does it all thread? So that I can live one existence and not run myself into the ground and enjoy it, enjoy the ride. So the next product package is going to be decontamination as we're working through the process. I'm going to be decontaminating this, and I'm going to coat it. So I'm testing all the Kamikaze products to see if they meet my standard. And so Kamikaze Miyabi, Kamikaze Stance rim, the rim coat is going on the wheels of this. And then Kamikaze ISM, so we'll go on top of the Miyabi. So that's the plan for this car. Yeah, this stuff smells like straight spray Carnauba. This is great. I think this is awesome. So I'll be doing that probably in the next, I don't know, next few weeks. So I'll be doing that over at my garage condo. Hopefully I'll have the lift in by then and some cabinets. So that's about as status update as I can get. It's what I know right now. You know, without the whole accidentally stumbling into this idea that looks like there's something on here. Looks like I went through some tar or something that's holding the back end up. Well, we're going to be decontaminating it soon anyway, so we'll be fixing all that. Just because, I mean, I don't need to, but I want to test it and I want to see it on my car because I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to upgrade my process to involve coatings even on my, what I call my special car. We'll see how this rapid wax does, but so far I'm digging it. I know a lot of people like to spray on a towel. I prefer to spray it directly on the paint. Just a preference. So new cars, new businesses, new products, new whatever, new anything I can dream up. And a continued philosophy that the only person that's going to stop me is me. So thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for supporting me if you've bought stuff from me. Thanks for commenting even if it hasn't always been positive. Thanks for mainly allowing me to get me out of my own head. That's what this has been all about. It's just so that I can get these thoughts out and stay sane. And apparently, I'm going to be chubby for the rest of my life because I can't stop eating. I got to stop saying can't and do it. Dang it, this car looks good. So I'm going to be Porsche crazy. So if you don't like Porsche, sorry for that. I'm going to be detailing crazy, product focus crazy, connecting with people crazy, and hopefully it's all good crazy. But in general, I'm going to be super focused on just doing me and bringing those along that want to come along and completely ignoring those that don't. Those that hate, those that don't want to be a part of it. It's cool. So anyway, I'm going to finish up the car here. Thanks to all you guys that have reached out, those that are now clients, you know, because ultimately wealth management is the most connected we can be. I mean, I'm going to know your whole life story, for gosh sakes. So that is the ultimate, to me, the ultimate way for me to support and to connect with people is by providing this body of knowledge that I have. And I've eliminated a lot of the junk, a lot of the fluff. And so now, when you get me in that vein, you're getting what I think you need to know, and none of it that I don't think matters. I used to do lots of stuff that I now know people don't care about. So as usual, stay tuned for more crazy. Thanks for Thanks for listening and watching these really long videos while I wash a car. You know, I find it's my way to get out of my own way and really connect with people who want to be connected with. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more crazy stuff. What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.